2019 has been the worst year for gaming. Like, seriously, don't believe me? According to this one guy on Twitter, it's pretty shitty. No game's getting over a 90 score on Metacritic? Awful year for games, absolutely terrible. Speaking of terrible, Fallout 76 continues to be the easiest punching bag for jokes, and its radiated corpse still lingers for YouTubers to inhale and exhale loudly over their expensive keyboards and monitors. If you couldn't tell, I was joking. This year has actually been one of my favourite years for games in the past decade, and 2020 is looking phenomenal also. This year will probably look shite next year, but who cares? This is my list of games I really enjoyed this year. Some I had time to finish, whereas others I did play briefly. But from what I've played, they have enough there to warrant buying. Enough waffle! Let's get on with the list. Also, quick note, if a game you played isn't on this list, then tough shit. It's my list, not yours. This is an unordered list, so one game is not better than the other. I must stress this. Put your favourite games in the comments.
Greetings! I come from a faraway world.
The Outer Worlds is the newest venture by Obsidian Entertainment and is exactly what you'd expect. Well-written dialogue, distinct locations, sprawling amount of stuff to do, and a handful of companions. That reminds you of something like Mass Effect, but with much less sex.
Report to the ship as soon as possible. We're being okay?
You make your own colonists, but while making this video showing the character creator, I subconsciously made Gordon Ramsay.
Fucking wrong!
You've been frozen for 70 years until Phineas. No, not that one. Phineas then freezes you and tasks you with rescuing the other colonists to take over the board, overseeing everything. The easiest way to sell anyone on the fence with this game is that it's like Fallout 4 but good. The inventory system is very similar. The gunplay, although janky at times, is also very similar, with customization that you've come to expect from earlier titles like Fallout New Vegas. It's the Buzz Lightyear game to New Vegas' Woody, essentially. The creature designs are detailed and stand out, but I don't want to see their insides on the loading screen, thanks. Also, shout out to these robots with the glowing blue core that is their weak point, while I stupidly shot its legs thinking I was crippling them with critical damage. I opted for speech and engineering in my playthrough, and even got away with stealing blatantly in plain sight. Didn't mean to steal. The Grey Fox would be proud. The companions that you recruit over your journey across the cosmos are each skilled in certain skills. Ellie is a doctor, so she provides bonuses to healing. Felix, being a tossball twat, gets melee. Ellie and Sam were my preferred companions, with Felix in third. At times, the similarities to Bethesda's games can be quite annoying, like the fact that if you get over encumbered, you can't give your companion spare loot to carry, and listening to business gobbledygook. I get that you're trying to do the corporation spiel, but everyone talks like this and it's quite annoying.
We set the initial sales price, then sold those shares right back to our friends. Look, I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely fucking not. But we were making more money than we knew what to do with.
Outer Worlds is a starting point. It's got some good things going for it, but can come off feeling quite bland to its predecessor Fallout New Vegas. The writing is there, but the mechanics don't stand out as anything groundbreaking. I do prefer the weapon designs in this game to those shitty pipe weapons of Fallout 4. There was this one enemy in particular that caught me off guard and gave me a mini heart attack, and it was this guy. Didn't see him burrow underground for my sniper, only get my head crushed without me realising it.
Building wrist!
The worlds that you visit all look very pretty, and the skyboxes remind me of a friend's broken laptop screen, but it does look really nice though. The skybox, not the broken screen. I think a major factor why it wasn't as interesting in this game in such a way as New Vegas was due to the lack of outstanding music. Without defining music and opting for a more ambient approach, it can feel dull at times. With Fallout, you can pop a radio on and hear what's going on currently in the world and listen to music as you explore. Here it's just white noise. I look forward to Obsidian's next project, as this is still quite a good stepping stone. I had a lot of great moments when I streamed this game, and we'll probably see how it comes along with DLC in future. Come on Obsidian, you are the kings of DLC creation. I have no doubt you'll continue to innovate. I got a whole hunk of love for you.
You want to tussle? Shit.
Bloodstained is much more than a love letter to Metroidvanias. It's been hailed as an Igavania pure and simply because this game is Igarashi's love child. He conceived the game after his departure from Konami in 2014. Prompted by numerous fan requests for him to make another Metroidvania crowdfunding platform Kickstarter to demonstrate the potential funding agencies for the demand of the game in 2015. Now those sentences were Wikipedia. You'd be surprised the amount of game journalists and YouTubers rip exactly what's written there verbatim. Now, in my own words, if you really enjoyed Symphony of the Night and you're looking for something very similar to that, the art style is meant to be a colourful mosaic inspired palette and it works very well, in contrast to Castlevania's more gritty and gothic look, in my opinion. From what I've played so far, I'm really digging the weapons that you find throughout the game and the perks you can use/unlock. Also, you felt like Jacksepticeye's in the bow at the start. You get to customise Miriam as you progress through the castle to stop the shard corruption from afflicting the townspeople. Throughout the castle you'll unlock different shards, which let you do various things. Some shards are passive and boost certain abilities. Others let you do things like shoot arrows, shoot fire, shoot flying pigs? That inflate! Also, David fucking Snake Hater!
I'm your executioner.
He still sounds like Solid Snake, but he's a swordsman. Spells, combos to learn from reading books. Yes, you can learn things from reading books. If you love Metroidvanias, then why are you even fucking listening to me? Pause the video and go buy this fucking game, or the flying bloat pig will come for you in your sleep. Astral Chain exudes a psychopath motif and has you start off your first day riding a motorcycle in the cyberpunk city. The Ark is a metropolis that has been afflicted with something called red matter that's infected the city and caused astral planes to open up with chimera pouring out of it. To combat the potentially world-ending threat, a special police division called the Neuron Task Force is formed. Sound familiar? The combat is quite different than Platinum Games' usual formula, and it's not combo based. You see, Astral Chain is what is being called a synergetic action game, character designs by mangaka Masakazu Katsura. Legions are these captured enemies that the police force used to fight off the Chimera using the Legatus and the police force's backs. They're not JoJo stands! You play as one of two twins, male or female respectively. You can customize your appearance with different hair, skin, eye color, as well as customize your equipment later. Depending on your choice, the other twin is named Akira Howard. Also like Treehouse, you have a dad called Maximilian Howard, and you work under Yosef, the police commander over Neutron, along with other police force members that you come to know over the course of the game. You start off without a legion, and you can swap between a stun baton and gun before you get your first legion, the Sword Legion. You can freely move the legion around with the right stick, and use it to bind enemies, perform special attacks, pick up upgrade materials, listen in on conversations. You can also enter high sync rate that lets you jump distances, do more damage, and not worry about your legion sync meter depleting. Depending on the difficulty you choose, pit difficulty allowing you ranked grades depending on how well you do. Depending on how well you do, you level up and can reach higher ranks in the police force. The combat is different but unique. You'll be trying to maneuver you and your legion around as you're trying to get the best balance between both during combat. It can be quite challenging. Throughout the game you'll do policeman things such as investigate a crime scene with your
Video memo recording. Agent 47023, Norman J.
Iris that allows you to scan an area for clues that also add to your rank if you're playing pit difficulty. You arrest people, kill demons, aliens, what's not to love? The music is great and only makes me think of The World Ends With You. If you have a Switch, this is a must buy. And if not...
Well, how about next time you get a board that can handle the Neutron style? Later, Nicorama!
Well, gotta say, it's nice working with you.
Disrespect my wife again, I will end you. I will fucking end you. Got the chief?
Horror games generally don't grab my attention. When I was a child, my earliest memory of survival horror was me trying Resident Evil 1, thinking it was a cool army man shoot game. The first zombie reveal with the slow headpan still is vivid to me, and how unsettling it was. Heart racing and running back to Barry Burton Benson and the zombie still chasing you being so intense that I turned the PlayStation 1 off and ran into the sitting room crying to my granny. So you could say I was a bit of a little baby when it came to horror, but in recent years I've mustered the balls to sit down and play them, and I fucking love Resident Evil now. My knowledge of Resident Evil 2 for the PS1 is limited, however. At some point I would love to finish the PS1 version just to see how different it is. The remake is more of a reimagining than a one-to-one remake like Crash Insane Trilogy or Spyro Reignited Trilogy. When horror is done well, it can keep you on the edge of your seat at all times, especially with great sound design, and it's all here. Floorboard creaks, liquor shrieks, Mr. Shrek, These all accumulate for some very tense moments. Whether you go for the remake OST or the classic OST, they both work incredibly well to build up a dreading atmosphere that looms over you as you explore the Raccoon City police station and more. My one gripe, and a common one that people can agree on, is the sewer section of Resi 2 Remake is very lackluster in comparison to the police station. The police station is so fleshed out, and it actually is quite different from the original PS1 police station in terms of layout and areas. Like in the hallway, the ladder is now a set of stairs, and there's another level onto the police station. Also, certain puzzles have been sort of reworked to adapt to more modern gameplay. Originally, there were plans to include the spiders in the sewers, but they're cut due to not fitting into the game. Also, I really dug the bonus content here in this game. The Hunk bonus game is here after you finish the campaign. It's voiced by the same guy who played Shido from Persona 5.
I'm at point K12. Need info on my distraction. Damn brat! I'll sue!
I would love to ream on about how much I love Resi 2 Remake. It's probably one of my most played games of this year, and I could go on a tangent about how much I love this game. All I gotta say is, fantastic remake. It stands on its own two legs away from the original PS1 version. Whereas some people want to get into an argument which is better, just enjoy both. I feel like they're both standalone, like they both have Leon and Claire in them and whatever. Leon just for Claire! I really look forward to Resident Evil 3 remake or Code Veronica remake. So this is future me to proudly announce that Resident Evil 3 remake was leaked on the PSN store. So that's one down. Code Veronica remake, absolutely please. But until then, this is going to be one of my favorite Resident Evil games going forward. Next to Resident Evil 4.
No thanks, bro.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses. It's Persona 5 but with Harry Potter houses with a variety of waifus and menfus. Game's good. Sold 2 million plus copies, gone on to be the highest selling Fire Emblem game of all time. You play the role of a new teacher that's been signed up to teach unknowingly by your dad.
They want you to teach, by the sound of it.
He's not too happy with reconciling with an old group of church farts he used to hang around with. The protagonist of Fire Emblem 3 Houses is called Bleh? Byleth? Bile? Okay Google, how do I say Byleth?
Here's a summary from phrasemix.com.
That's not what I asked! Okay, there's this website called Pronounce Wiki. To pronounce Wiki! Here we go.
Beelet.
You play as Beelet. You play as a Beelet. You've got this green mint fairy that's 100 years old and can control time. This mechanic is cool and useful because whenever you fuck up like I do, you can reset time. You get a set limit of undos essentially. The persona aspect comes from how you interact with your students. Do favors for them to build their trust, invite them to tea.
Damn, Jimmy, this some serious gourmet shit.
So it's called 3 houses for a reason. Each house belongs to a faction and faction leader, each with their own backstories, personalities, and each Harry Potter house has its own students. The region of Fodlan, hey, that's my country! The Ardestian Empire in the state of Fodlan is monarchy ruled by an emperor. Its capital city is Enbar, so basically Edinburgh. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus in the north of Fodlan is a monarchy ruled by a king. Its capital city is Ferdiad. I knew Ferdiad from school. Not a very common name nowadays. The Leinster Alliance in the east of Fodlan is a republic ruled by a council of nobles. Its capital city is Derdu, an industrious port controlled by House Ryan. Can you guess which one I went with? You're right, it's the one that's identical to Leinster. I'm from Leinster. Leinster's a region in Ireland, by the way. Also, Cloud looks like that guy from Road to El Dorado. As for Fodlan, the Japanese name is their spelling of Fodla, an Irish goddess, one of 3 sisters. However, if you're like me and picked Golden Deer, and you like Bernadetta or Ash to join your class, you can do that. If you have the right stats, you can recruit them into your class instead of Miss Crabapple's class. I really like the monastery. The area's design makes a lot of sense and it becomes really easy to traverse as you explore it. You can fast travel to quests from the bulletin board or to support building gatherings easily this way. I haven't really mentioned the combat, but this fire extinguisher, thanks phone autocorrect, has the best combat. You enter this chest-like view and you have different weapons you can equip as well as weapon proficiency. So depending on what class/skills you have, you'll be better with certain weapons. You can also take part in tests to change the class of your students and yourself. You can cast spells, combat arts, and also battalion attacks. There's a lot on offer here, and if you ask me, classic is the way to go. The dread of losing a character you put so much effort into engages you and drives you to carefully plan out your moves each turn. The dialogue is good, the music's good, combat's good. I can't find anything bad with this game. Here's a list of characters that I really liked. Hilda is one of the best axe users in the game, but insists she isn't cut out for the battlefield. Lies! Critical hits and massive damage. Lady, you even chant your name like a barbarian when you kill someone.
Hilda! Hilda!
Marianne I quite like because we both have raccoonitis. Sylvian's just the Yuri Lowenthal Kinsell character that needs to be hitting the groin a lot.
Critical hit to the nads!
Lysithea, who's into magic. She's somehow afraid of ghosts.
I confess, I am scared of ghosts.
Also, the monastery church bell reminds me of the Futurama bell. This game's that addictive that you'll never want to go back to mass. I can pray in the game, Jesus! The loading screen even has a neat little sprite of your character. I thought that was pretty cool. Because this game is pandering me as an Irishman, it gets a Guinness bird beak sticking to a packet of overpriced crisps from Temple Bar out of 10.
First of March, it's clear to me there's something that's uncomforting. Your body has a way with me, but I'm exactly where I wanna be. But I'm a long way from home.
I'm doing something that will piss off a lot of people. Going for a walk. In this day and age, walking. Did you not see Wally, you stupid fuck? Supposed to be in McCryo sleep. Not walking, that's fucking illegal. But walking is so boring. Shut the fuck up, Neckbeard511. Trying to make a video. Fat bastards don't want to walk, is that it? These are probably the same cunts who order everything off Amazon. No thanks given to the postman. Next time, your package is getting lost, man. Here's the thing. For the lazy fat pricks, Death Stranding 2 will be including My Taxi, Uber, the whole lot. When the postman's done his job to rebuild America so you could get your Uber Eats delivered again, you didn't deserve it. Didn't play Death Stranding 1. Look! Look! It's a BT!
The missed unit. The skulls.
Well, I'm sure you'll see the bigger picture eventually. If you get out of here alive.
Anyways, an overlooked point is you do get a bike in this game as well as a car, but the complainers don't want to listen. To them it's walking, and here's something that should be said. Get off your hole and walk.
Give the people what they want. Some good old-fashioned apocalyptic porn. Pimple-faced gamers screaming in their pants.
But games are supposed to be fun. Are all movies supposed to be fun? Are all pictures supposed to be fun? This game that people find hilarious to say,
don't get it.
Thinking they are above it all. My dad, for the first time in years, rushed into the room to tell me about it, and he couldn't get over what it was. There's this baby, and there's these people who look like muck, and he goes, don't breed, don't breed. However, I also don't think people should outlandishly worship Kojima as a god.
Kojima is God. Kojima is God.
Sam drinks exclusively Monster Energy. Gotta pay for those celebrities somehow. Death Stranding has you play Sam Porter Bridges, played by Norman Reedus, and you've been tasked by Bridget Strand, the President of the United States, to rebuild America. On your way to the west, your biggest adversary is the terrain itself and maneuvering around it. I find this concept excellent because it's just so simple. You see, Death Stranding is more of a game about the journey than the destination. See what I did there? Visual jokes. I should preface this with minor spoilers for Chapter 1. Chapter 1 sets up the universe of Death Stranding as you believe it.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion.
The game's intro does a great job opening up. The weather changes to rain and it can be visibly seen to age things quite drastically, such as crows that fall from the sky. I fucking love that slopes actually are a threat in this game. I can't believe I'm saying this, but nature/hill climbing being a challenge is great. Endurance against water currents, taking care not to slip down slopes. Other games ignore these things and are immersion breaking, so it's nice to have a game that takes these into consideration. At the end of a delivery, it will show you the damage percent of your goods. It will show you the route you took and how far you walked. You'll be awarded a rank depending on those metrics, which I think is really cool. I fucking love how, oh shit, a rainbow is cause for an alarm. Scary rainbows. Boss, it's the Wiggles! When someone dies and their corpse isn't incinerated, they undergo necrosis, transforming them into BTs. When you die in Death Stranding, you can come back, as Sam is a repatriate. To be fair, you have to have a big IQ to understand Death Stranding.
Alright, look, Morty, Kojima just wants us to reconnect to fractured society and stop the Death Stranding. What are all these ghosts?
Those are the Death Stranding, Rick!
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's a lot of terminology in Death Stranding you come accustomed to, but it really helps build the world of Death Stranding. You'd think walking a long distance would be tedious, but music cues come into play and the camera zooms out. The bridge, baby, shortened to BB, is used by Dooms. Yeah, fucking Doomers, so they can detect the BTs. You can bring with you ladders, ropes, and other things like post boxes which you can build for yourself. I absolutely love the detail in this world. It's just like walking over Ireland, it's piss and rain in awkward hills, way! Sam has his own room where he can show you his Funko Pop collection, shower, toilet, oh, also the game has a neat Easter egg like Nier Automata. People want a clear story, something that they know can happen or is real, but I don't like that. A sense of mystery and wonder is much more preferable to me than a predictable, flat laid out story. I'm not saying that Death Stranding is an intellectual, important game story, but a game with many rules and logic that doesn't make sense makes quite an entertaining game. It's about the subtle details that make the big picture that are unique to someone's vision. Altogether, it stacks onto each other. It's easy to get wrapped up in what's blatantly in front of you, but it's the way things are presented, how sound is heard throughout the experience that make a living, breathing world. Yes, Sam can get tired and needs a break, packages fall off, end up damaged. Frustration and motivation are core to this experience, I feel. Your motivation to see these menial tasks finished is what makes up the story's bigger picture of connecting the country and with it the people. You're simply a postman doing what little you can, but at the same time fulfilling something much greater. In Death Stranding, players can help one another by placing ladders for the next Sam that comes along. You can thank these players by giving them a like. There are no dislikes present here because he doesn't want to encourage that behaviour. In an outer perspective of the game itself, it has caused a decisive argument about whether the game is good, boring, bad, and that makes sense considering what it's about. This game won't appeal to everyone, but for people like me who are sick of negativity and human bitterness posted online constantly, this is something I want to see more of. It's a bold artistic game, and that will ultimately put off a lot of gameplay junkies looking for something exciting to happen every minute. What should be said is, so what if the game isn't revolutionary in gameplay? Not every experience is going to be for you. For incredible open world stealth gameplay, Metal Gear Solid 5 is there. I know I went on a tangent there, but it's what I felt needed to be said.
Game over, man.
Have a better idea?
Yes, I do.
This has probably been one of the best action games I've played in a while. It's stylish, beautiful, and brewing with passion that it's become the action game I think of when it comes to flair. Earlier this year I finally made the time to finish Devil May Cry HD Collection and Devil May Cry 4. Devil May Cry games on the surface seem like a Forever 21 Goth's game of choice, but in reality it's more like your dad blasting Tin Lizzy on the speakers while cutting grass. The story is very hammy, the characters act like video game characters do, but it has this like brilliant charm and wit that plays along with it. It has this fantastic score, like the music in Devil May Cry games is phenomenal and this game is no exception. Bar Dante's new theme, it's very self-aware that it's a game, but it's one of the few games in recent years that feels like a proper game. Devil May Cry is all about its combat systems and this one turns it up to 11. Hideaki Itsuno knows what he's doing when it comes to action, and this game's got so much diversity in playstyles, it's fantastic. It spoils you with choices and rewards you for switching up your playstyle to achieve higher mission ranks. You can practice in the Void where you can try out new moves you've unlocked, see what combos work well together. Oh, and the presentation is top notch. Cutscenes are shot very well, menus and UI look sleek, enemy designs are so detailed. Like, check out this ant demon's face for example, it's just amazing. There are 3 playable characters in Devil May Cry 5. Nero, who we all know from Devil May Cry 4, brings his devil arms made by Nico that let you do things like push back enemies, grapple enemies towards you, fly on top of even, sweet surrender. pasta, Mega Man. Like, the gimmick of Devil Arms really opens up Nero's gameplay and sets him apart from his Devil May Cry 4 counterpart. V's a bit different than Nero in that he's physically too weak to fight with a weapon, so this My Chemical Romance boy sits back reading poetry while his minions do the work. You control Shadow with triangle and Griffin with square for physical and range attacks respectively. Depending on the direction of the analog stick, you'll do different moves. Also, if you get a high rank and taunt, he likes to play his cane like a violin. It's fucking great. Dante, according to the dev team, they put so much options into them that it became so overwhelming, but in a good way. Like with Devil May Cry 4, you can swap to 4 styles with the D-pad. It lets you use evasive moves or else teleport moves. Gives you a bunch of juggling options and new moves. Lets you do fancy gun moves. Lets you block and parry moves. Dante has a lot of weapons that you can cycle through. Ebony and Ivory guns that you can charge. I quite like the animation when you unholster them. The shotgun's back, Lady's rocket launcher, and lastly Dr. Faust, this new hat that for some reason makes you do a Michael Jackson dance. With Dr. Faust, you can shoot red orbs as a weapon or even hold it down to summon meteors. Dante also has 3 swords in this game: Dante's Sword, Sparta Sword, and Devil Sword Dante. Apart from Dante's Sword, there's also these nunchucks that have fire, ice, and lightning properties to them, which is pretty sick. Balrog gauntlets that you can ignite to do more damage and have faster output hits. And not least, Cavalier, I think I said that right. It's a motorcycle that splits into 2 sides that you can use to cut enemies in 2, juggle, and even transform to this full-on bike that Dante can ride and launch enemies up with, which is very fucking fun. Devil May Cry 5 just puts in these small little extra details that are icing on the cake. They also include pre-visualization cutscenes that they use to choreograph the scenes. Before they do any of the motion capture, CGI and stuff, they played the scene, and it's fantastic. It's so entertaining to see how they envision the scenes to play out in real life and then adapt those to the game, and there's a lot of entertainment value to be found there. I really love the new characters that they include in this game, and they didn't seem like forced new additions either. And the value that comes with this game is by getting higher mission ranks, playing through higher difficulties, trying out new combos, and there's also the Bloody Palace DLC, which is free. I've yet to beat the Bloody Palace DLC, but it's just crazy the amount of content that actually is in here. But here's hoping for a Devil May Cry 5 Gold Edition with Virgil, Trish, or Lady campaign. Come on, Capcom. Ladies Night Out, Virgil, please. I would love to see more Devil May Cry 5 or Devil May Cry 6, which might be a bit too far off in the future.
Scum.
So it is written.
I'm going to open Kingdom Hearts and absorb all the power.
So Kingdom Hearts 3's hype came to a tipping point, and after it released, the game was received with quite mixed thoughts. Some people felt that penultimate moments were left to the final chapter of the game, and that Disney worlds you visit don't hold anything of value, which isn't entirely true. The game opens up with, no kidding, Drake from Drake and Josh playing chess against a young Xehanort. From this logic, does that mean Drake evolves into Luke Skywalker? They discuss a Keyblade war that happened many years ago. Then the copyrighted intro music plays. The Utada Hikaru intros, coupled with high budget CGI anime, is a Kingdom Hearts must. This brought me back to Kingdom Hearts 1 days. It pays respect to the series' roots, with the classic Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora design then changing to its Kingdom Hearts 2 design, showcasing villains that he's faced along the way. The song Face My Fears fits really well with the visuals. It definitely stacks up to Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1's intros. The slick transition from young Xehanort to old Xehanort was very good. The dive to Heart sees you playing as KH1 Sora's design, and it just shows how far we've come from the PS2 days. He even has his health icon. The mirror showcasing the Kingdom Hearts 2 design was a neat thing too. Glass panels with various clips from across the series showcase traits for what type of build you want. Strength, magic, etc. The second set has the usual, Power of the Warrior, Power of the Mystic, and Power of the Guardian. Whenever I play Kingdom Hearts, I generally go for Guardian or Warrior. The tutorial ends with a fight against a water dark side, followed by additional tutorials that you can skip, which is nice. Yen Sid lectures Sora that he failed the Marker Mastery exam set in Dream Drop Distance, and in the process lost all his previous powers and abilities. To regain his lost strength you head to Olympus, but not Olympus Coliseum. Much better. I fucking love how it then flashes to a title card of Kingdom Hearts 2.9, the more you sly dog. I really like how Hades describes his previous schemes and how Terra, Cloud, and Auron are featured as statues. It's like a reimagining of the Hercules tale, except the right way this time, as Hades says.
I'm going back to my original plan, alright? So, toodaloo! Exits that way!
When they arrive, Sora comments on how there's no fanfare.
No fanfare?
Which is referring to the previous game's Olympus theme. This game brings Sora, Donald, and Goofy together as living and breathing characters. Goofy will joke about a building crumbling and potentially murdering someone.
Gosh, I hope they got insurance.
The back and forth banter between them feels organic and gives these characters more life than they've ever had in previous entries. In combat, you can do lots of team combination attacks, which are really overpowered. But it's nice to finally have interactions with them so you can actually feel like you're working together as a team. Olympus is amazing to look at, and it isn't just that one area everyone is familiar with. Different than the other entries in the series, you can run up a lot of walls in this game, giving it a lot more verticality in comparison. You get to scale the entire mountain to fight the Titans, and it's done with such spectacle. It's great. The music is all fantastic here. One of my favourite tracks is the remixes of older themes with a spin on them. In this game you can do team moves, the first one being with Goofy's shield. Goofy for Jackass?
Fellas, I just got a crazy idea. Ready? Here goes!
My favourite worlds were Olympus, Toy Box, Tangled, and the final world. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they all have smartphones now. Kingdom Hearts Instagram would just be called Keystagram? Kingstagram? Sounds like King Mickey's gone a bit too kinky in this one. I know you've been cheating on Minnie with Riku!
Riku is a sexy guy. He's just a sexy guy.
The game's final section deserves a video of its own. It's easily the best part of the game, and the whole series has been leading up to that moment. If you like Pixar/Disney characters destroying anime villains, then this game's up your street.
Whatever you're talking about, I don't care. Put Buzz back the way he was, then get lost.
This is where the fun begins.
I didn't think I'd be putting a Star Wars game on this list, but here we are. Originally I had planned to put Sekiro in this video, but for some reason I just couldn't in good conscience do that. Nearly everything I said was negative for whatever reason, so I said, fuck it, not going in the video. I've always loved Star Wars, but never considered myself a super fan of it or anything. Every now and then I get reminded of its existence, with Disney's attempts at continuing the franchise. I won't delve into my thoughts on that, but whenever Star Wars has expanded upon a section of the lore, it's been utterly fascinating to hear about. Wanted to know about Anakin Skywalker becoming a dickish arsehole? The Clone Wars has you covered. Want to know about Darth Vader's crusade hunting down every Jedi scattered across the universe? Well, Disney say it isn't canon.
Sacred Jedi texts. Oh, read them, have you?
But as far as I'm concerned, The Force Unleashed did a pretty solid job in showing how the Rebel Alliance came to be.
An army.
Yes, an alliance of rebels and dissidents.
You played a Star Killer, a child turned to the dark side by Darth Vader from an early age, but soon defects to the light side. The DLC is bonkers and has you murder all your favourite Star Wars characters, as an edgy Star Wars OC that's overpowered as fuck. What's fucking hilarious is after you kill Obi-Wan once, you get to kill his Force Ghost then as well. The last Star Wars game I bought, unfortunately, was Star Wars Battlefront 2. the bad one.
What have I done?
The game has received a lot of updates since then, trying to rectify the mistakes of having stupid loot boxes in it, but it still put a bad taste in my mouth. One of my all-time favourite games of the PS2 era, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the good one, I still remember fondly that chilly Christmas day playing that amazing game as I tried to take back Hoth while hearing the same voice lines repeated into the cold winter night.
We've lost control of the command post. The enemy has captured a command post. We control the command post. We've lost control of the command post. The enemy is in control of another command post. We've lost a command post. The enemy has captured a command post.
Oh, and also fly into an enemy rebel hangar only to steal their bombers because your ships were shit. Also laughing my ass off as the carrier ships never went into the enemy hangar.
Trying to make the rest of us look bad.
The music was stellar as expected and the gameplay solid as fuck. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about good Star Wars games, one of them being Revenge of the Sith for PS2. I'll stop gushing about these older games now and save that for another video, but my god, they were so good. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is pretty damn good and it appeals to my taste in games. Respawn Entertainment are responsible for this game as well as Titanfall, which is surprising. I like how this game presents the difficulty options as you cycle through them. Each difficulty shows you exactly what the differences are. I chose Master because I didn't want this to happen in the comments.
You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of Master.
The opening of the game oddly gave me Treasure Planet vibes. I love the aliens robots in this first section, like holy fucking shit, it's the Gonk droid, but sexy red. Part of this game feels like Uncharted with how you scale around obstacles. You can see the environment detail on this planet, the Clone War ships, and that's fucking awesome. In the prologue you find a Jedi fighter.
R4, be careful, you have
Oh dear. The game fucks with you with this door that isn't working, and then it took me a while, but after turning around, you see a vision of your master. I fucking love just walking around on the ship. Don't play Wonderwall! The transitions are so Star Wars as well, I love it. The game is absolutely beautiful. Like, look at these little rats. Meditation spots act as bonfires like in Dark Souls. You can upgrade yourself and rest. You meet BD-1, a little robot that aids you in your adventure. I ventured off the beaten path and found this giant toad called Ogdo Bogdo, and it fucked my shit up. Fuck you, Hypno Toad. It's inspired by the Soul series in the gameplay and it damn feels good. I absolutely love the character interactions in the cockpit of the ship. And bejesus, the light speed animation is so faithful to Star Wars warping, it's crazy. I'd play for you some of the tracks here, but they're heavily copywritten. Just trust me, it's as you'd expect a Star Wars game to sound like. Little details such as holding your lightsaber to illuminate dark caves. Oh, so good. You can customize your lightsaber and also, look at Rey's one through the recent film. It's so fucking stupid. Yep, you can do the thing. There's also a planet with people who look like, When an enemy glows red, that means their attack is unblockable, so you should dodge out the way. Sometimes the graphics engine can bug out though. Also, this happened many times where an enemy just spawned mid-air and T-posed. Guess who's getting the Qui-Gon treatment now? You'll be wishing your name wasn't Darth Paul Blart.
Ever hear the tragedy of Darth Vader's life? No, I thought not. I thought not. Ever hear the tragedy of Master Windu? No, I thought not. I thought not. Do it.
And that's my list of games I thoroughly enjoyed this year. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I have plenty of videos planned for the coming year and they're going to be a lot more diverse and more niche, I like to think, than this video. This video took actually more than 2 months to make. I am only one person, I'm a small YouTuber, so I really appreciate it if you share the video. It would do me wonders. Please share this around. If I was a much bigger YouTuber, I'd probably be a bit more humble, but desperate times. This video, I hope, sets the precedent, a standard from now on, from me. I didn't get to say this is the best of, which is going to be releasing at the end of this year. The Let's Plays that I put out and these 2 videos I'm very proud of, and 2020 I hope to make even more videos that are good quality or higher. Here's a list of games I was really interested in but didn't get time to play, unfortunately. Control, River City Girls, Code Vein, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Also, before you go, here's some of the outtakes while recording this video. Because I'm not perfect and I'll stumble over my words, It can lead to some stupid but funny moments. You played a Star Killer, a child turned to the dark side by Darth Vader from my neck injuries. And Stora. It's a stork. Horror games don't jam. Horror games jam. We've done the 18th Fench. I don't know why that's a finch. A fig roll. A finch. Is that what I'm probably laughing at? But can come. It's got some good things going for it. It's got some good things going for it, but can come off feeling. I got a whole hunk of love for you. Honey mama banana. Oh, honey mama banana. There's a lot of terminology in Dark Souls. Why have I written that down? Is a repatriate. Patsy. The route with the distance you took and the... What the fuck is the sentence? What have you written here, you stupid boy? When someone dies and their corpse isn't incinerated, they undergo necronopoly. I go to play Monopoly. He conceived this game after his departure. Why do I sound like Patrick Bateman doing his monologue? You like Bloodstained? Igarashi's earlier work was too new weight for my tastes. But when Bloodstained came out, I think they really came into their own, commercially and artistically. The whole game has a clear, crisp sound and a sheen of consummate professionalism that really gives that game a big boost. He's been compared to Elvis Costello, but I think Igarashi has a far more bitter, cynical sense of humor. Here's the issue I have with Sekiro at launch. I love the Soulsborne games. I utterly love them. And you think from I utterly love the Soulsborne games I utterly love, and you think from the Soulsborne games I usually love, and you think with From Software's newest title. No, redo that. Read all the fucking thing. The Soulsborne games I really love, and you think From Software's newest title I'd be able to do the same with. I'm really unsure what it is about it, but I'm not driven as much as in earlier titles to finish it. Redo that. I'm really unsure what it is about this game. No. I'm not really sure about it, but I'm not too sure, but I'm really unsure what it is about it, but I'm not driven as much as in earlier titles to finish it. The game is brutally difficult because enemies attack faster, they're parrying... No, that's wrong. This game is brutally difficult because enemies attack faster... Redo all the fucking thing. The game is brutally difficult because enemies attack faster, their patterns varying, and the beasts are even deadlier. I don't play these games purely because they are hard. This meme spawned from a gatekeeping individual on Twitter as a result of a critic cheating to finish the game for a review. I'm 100% against cheating in games, especially for a review and stuff. But I can fully understand how stressful... I'm against this, but I can fully understand how stressful it can be to get a game... What? Where the fuck am I going? I am against this, but I can fully understand how stressful... I am against this, but I can fully understand how stressful it must be to be under a time constraint to finish a game like this. I think my eyes would bulge out and my veins would be so visible I have like a demonic face like Grappler Baki. I think easy mode... No, I'll redo the fucking joke. I think my eyes would be bulged out and under a time constraint. No. I think my eyes would be... I think I had big Steve Buscemi eyes and my face would appear like a back. Fucking... I think my eyes would be bulged out and my veins would be so visible I'd have a demonic face like Grappler Baki's back. I'd have Steve Buscemi eyes. I don't know.